There's a lot happening in the world. A lot of shifts, a lot of changes, a lot of people realizing that community is the way. And this is at like an unconscious level. There are many fires, there are many power outages, there is much happening that is forcing people back into community and caring for one another. My son and I were in the Okanagan and the fires exploded. One guy was in an open field on a side-by-side and flipped it, was very seriously injured, and it caused a fire, which has taken out hundreds of homes, evacuated thousands of people, and he was charged. So on top of being seriously injured, now he's also charged for probably reckless endangerment or something like that. And the one down south of Vernon was Summerland Fire. And it was first found after 4. They claimed it was found after 5. Not many people heard about it until about 7 p.m. And it was about 50 hectares at that point. By about 11, it was over 3,000 hectares. And the property that we were staying on, there was supposed to be people evacuating from Summerland to come and stay where we were. They ended up staying behind and helping other evacuees. I could barely sleep, and by about 1:30 a.m., the whole town of Summerland was evacuated, which was 12,000 people. Just north of there is Peachland, and about a quarter of the town was evacuated also. Now, those of you who don't know the Okanagan of British Columbia, Summerland is known as newlywed or nearly dead. So there are retirement communities, old folks' homes, and they had to find places for all of these people to go. There were many people, because of how quickly this fire spread, there were many people who were not able to return to their homes or their animals. There were people who tried to save animals out of their sanctuaries, off their ranches, and then they were going back to get a second load, and they were not allowed in. By 2 a.m., by the time I woke up shortly after that, the highway was closed, and you couldn't get from Penticton to Kelowna, or vice versa. The fire had spread to over 10,000 hectares in the blink of an eye. I became very emotional simply because of these destructions, and this chaos is what usually brings people together. And that's the shitty part about it. People go on about their lives. Not all of us, because there's few of us that really we're consciously aware of all the people around us, the choices we make, and how it affects everybody. There are many people who are like zombies just moving through life. And when something like this happens, these disasters, there is so much care and compassion and community rebuilding. Yes, there's a lot of emotions, frustration, grief, anger, sadness. But there's clear indication that people are still capable of caring. There were food trucks coming out, 444. Food trucks coming out to feed the people. The Elks Club closed down so they could serve pancake breakfasts. The pharmacists were out there with emergency medications for people. People donating pet food and Pampers coming up with tons of diapers for people. Why does it take shit, disaster, loss, war for people to see each other? Why can we not look around at the people around us and see what they need before this happens? There are many things that people want to blame these fires on. Other people, corporations, spraying. There's tons of things. They cut old growth forests, which is a natural forest fire barrier. But what it really comes down to is the energetics of everything. Energy. There's always a balance in this life. It's constantly trying to balance itself through ebb and flow, ups and downs. The problem is people really want to control everybody else, all for this. So what happens is when we are over-consuming, the earth suffers. And what does anybody in this life do? It's about survival. And it shouldn't be about survival. It should be about thriving, supporting, compassion. So since we're in this state of survival, the earth is also in a state of survival, and she will remove what is hindering and blocking and over-consuming her. She has all of the abundance we all need. The land was given to all of us. Indigenous means born on the land. I was born on the land, yet for some reason I have to pay for water just to drink, just to bathe in. I have to pay for food that I can grow myself. They want to control that. I have to pay for housing and shelter when I'm actually capable of building myself, building structures and property myself on land that should have been given to us when we're born. The theft, the fraud, the coercive control, the staking claim on land that was never yours. It's always ours, the people, the indigenous, those born on the land. You're born in North America. You're born on North Turtle Island. The land is yours. You're born in South America. That land is yours. That is your inheritance. And yet we're all suffering because of a few people. And this, what you're seeing around you, all of this chaos and confusion and suffering, is due to a lack of community. And yet people lose everything and then they want to rebuild community. Can we remove the need for these lessons? Can we remove these coercive control? Thinking that everything needs to be controlled, thinking that all we need to do is put policy in place, take more control away from people so they think they need us, so they think that they're not capable of doing it themselves. I just spent the past 6 years, 5 years, no paycheck, 5 years with no paycheck, no job, living life, healing, studying, enjoying, thriving, exploring. Yes, I've been through a lot of shit. Yes, I've had many challenges and obstacles to overcome. But I took the time that I needed to do that deep inner work, to regain control over my life since everybody else wanted to claim control over me. I proved that I need no system. I govern myself. I'm self-governing. Yet the coercive control still wants to claim that we lack capacity. 10:10. This is the time for endings and new beginnings. And you're seeing it externally. All of these changes happen within us. Everything, oh, sorry, just poked him in the eye. Oh. Everything happens in the spiritual realm first, in the unseen. Your intentions, those are the unseen. Your heart, what is placed within you, that is the unseen. Everything happens in the unseen before in the physical. Every single seed that you've sown is now being harvested. And so you know what that means. The earth has taken back control of herself. She knows the hearts of those around her and on her. The spiritual realm sees everything. It's all recorded. It's all known. It's universal law. What you put out comes back to you. And so, if I can give you a little bit of hope and faith, everything is happening exactly as it should. It didn't have to be this way, though. It really didn't. But because of the lack of capacity people have carried for many, many years and many, many generations, because of the constant, here's the keys, you drive, rather than no, I can control my vehicle, my vessel, my automobile, and I can transport to wherever I need to. I can ship and move. So, all of your intentions have already been set out there. You've already placed what your heart says for those people around you. What you have wished and hoped for other people is the gift the universe is giving you. There are always innocent people when there is war, when there is chaos. I'm not saying everybody deserves it. I'm saying we have been warned. There have been signs and signals for years. And yes, there's been a veil over your eyes. And yes, you've been distracted. And yes, they wanted to put this path for you to follow rather than you knowing yourself and turning and looking at the path of your ancestors and the blueprint of creation and where we were supposed to go and where we're supposed to be now. Because time's been up. So you better start making better choices. If you're still here, there's still time. The thing is, though, time is up for the judgment of those evil ones who wanted to continue their control of the innocent. That's what time is up. I wish only the best for everybody, for everyone, for every being, the greatest and highest good of all, for all of creation to return to the knowing of the blueprint within. Because until you know who you are, the world around you will look like it's falling apart, when in actuality, it's actually falling into place. Mwah. Bliss for each and every one of you.